Okay, I thought I'd just run a few stats that I've seen around in relation to this COVID-19 and some little bit of research that I did, and just be interested to get your feedback. I don't intend forming any of my opinions. I'm interested to hear what yours are based on these facts I'm about to present to you. First, first up, I'm just going to grab some population stats from a few countries. Australia for one, Italy, UK, US, and China. Their respective populations, just there for you. Another figure I'm going to use is the average life expectancy of people in each country, respectively. Now, what I'm going to do is calculate out the yearly deaths for each country, and to do that, we simply need to divide the life expectancy into the population to give us an annual death rate for each country. Now, this is not going to be like exactly what it actually is. It's going to be pretty close, but this doesn't allow for population growth and that sort of thing. But the figures are going to be sort of like fairly close to this. So for Australia, it'd be 25.5 million divided by 84, gives 303,000 round numbers. And Italy gives about 720,000, about a little bit more for the UK. Over 4 million for the US. So, yeah, it's a lot bigger numbers. Brace yourself for China. Yeah, the annual deaths in China is close enough to the population of Australia each year. So they're digging a lot of holes over there. Now, just to make the figures a little bit easier to deal with in relation to COVID-19, is to reduce it down to daily rates. To do that, it's simply obviously the yearly divided by 365 days a year. That gives us about 830 for Australia, about 2,000 for Italy. Daily deaths, and UK is about just over 2,000. Getting up there, 11,500 per day in the US pass away on average throughout the year. And China, brace yourself. Yeah, big business over there for undertakers. Over 50,000 people a day die in that country throughout the year. That's a lot of people. Yeah, a hell of a lot of people. Anyway, so that does, I guess, it's more to give us a bit of an idea of how many people usually die in each country per day, and to really compare against compare against the figures you've been hearing in the media. Now, I was going to focus on one country, but what I've decided to do is I'm going to focus on Italy now, and not even on the actual country, because I was able to find some stats in relation to the where most of the deaths have occurred, and actually basically all the regions throughout Italy, and the region there up the top, Lombardy, which is basically Milan's the capital. Very heavy populated area, not very big, probably about the size of Geelong, maybe Ballarat. It's not a big area, but a lot of people live there. Anyway, but still, 10,500 people is a lot of people. A lot of people to have passed away in what a couple of months it's been now. So, or is it? I was able to find some stats from 2018 by region for deaths in Italy. And right at the top of the list, double its second place is Lombardy up there in first place at almost 100,000 people die each year. That's a lot of people, but it appears to be the norm. So, the 100,000 deaths. Well, I thought we'd reduce that down to monthly deaths, just over 8,000 per month across the year. Yeah, so that's a lot of people that are in years gone by, or 2018 at least, pass away per month. Now, what's interesting about this time of the year, or the first 3 months of the year, is that it is it's the coldest months of the year up, in the northern hemisphere. Like January is really cold, like top of 7 and low of 2. And March starts to pick up a little bit, but and generally speaking, throughout the world, the colder months, older people tend to pass away a lot more than the warmer months. Particularly with respiratory type diseases and whatnot. I know my own mother, every May, May of each year, May, June, she ends up in hospital with respiratory problems for the last 5 years running now, I think it's been. So we expect a lot more people in the early part of the year to be passing away. So what I thought I'd do is to make it a little bit more accurate, is seasonally adjust the monthly deaths, say the first quarter of the year to 10,000. I think that's probably pretty conservative. So you'd expect 20,000 deaths over the last couple of months. It would be a fair assumption to make, I'd imagine. So 20,000 deaths is what we'd expect. Now, if we go back to what COVID-19 deaths in that same region have been over the last 2 months, up until April 11th, is 10,500. The question that remains is this 10,500 in addition to its normal, expected, usual deaths in that region on a month-by-month basis? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find any reliable data that gives the total deaths this year over the last 3 months in that region. The data I have found is not very reliable. Now, but there is plenty of other evidence available that can give us a lot clearer picture of what has actually gone on. Now, Italy's National Institute of Health released some very good information that makes it very clear what's going on in that region in Italy. What they tell us is that more than 99% of the people who died had a pre-existing illness. Yeah, so that pretty much covers a lot of them. They had other issues, known issues. In addition, of those anyway, 48.5% had 3 or more pre-existing health conditions. So, pretty sick people, unwell people. Of those, 76% that passed away had high blood pressure, 35% had diabetes, 33% had heart disease. Yeah, so they weren't very well. They had, everyone was quite unwell as it was. Anyhow, so the interesting thing is the average age of people who died were 80 years old. The average age. Therefore, we've got some older and some a little bit younger as well. 80 years old was the average age the people that passed away. So I think that question, is that 10,500 in addition to the usual death rate, to the people that expect to have passed away anyway? I don't think so. I really don't. But yeah, so essentially the data that's been released by the Institute of Health over in Italy and the World Health Organization are basically mirroring each other. That, yeah, like nothing beyond the normal has actually gone on. Nothing at all. I thought that maybe it was just an anomaly in Italy. That's another story. But looking across a few other countries, I really would. At the fatality rates by age, we see the same sort of story going on. You know, we look at no fatalities under 10 years of age. Italy showed nothing under 10 years of age, under 20. China showed 0.2. Spain and South Korea didn't show any. 20 to 30 years of age, 0.2% in China. Same in Spain, 0.2. 30 to 40 years of age, 0.1s, 0.2s. It's next to nothing. And when we get to 40 to 50 years of age, again, 0.08 for South Korea, 0.4 for China, 0.3 for Spain. And moving up, to 30 to 40 years of age, 0.1s, 0.2s, same thing. 50s to 60s of age, 0.5. We've got China up to 1.3, Italy 1%, so that's 50 to 60. 60 to 70 years of age, when we start to see a little bit of this is like 60 to 70, we're looking at Italy at 3.5% before we start to see any sort of numbers. Then it's not until the obvious 70 years of age where we start to see the real spikes, and then to 80 years plus. So really you're looking at, I guess, 96%, 97% of people that passed away were between the ages of 70 and say 90 years of age. Okay, so summarising, we have an average age of the people that died at 80 years old with serious pre-existing health conditions, most of them multiple serious health conditions. So it's safe to say that these people were expected to pass away regardless. So with that, let's see what other questions that have basically been plaguing me, at least. Now, how is it that China managed to keep death tolls so low? In a country where they're like flies. Like, I've been there several times, and I kid you not, they're like flies. People are on top of each other. It's a lot of people. They were first hit. No notice. We've had the benefit of, and other countries have had the benefit of. No notice. They get hit out of nowhere. With a third world, healthcare system, let's say their hygiene is, is not great. It's far from great. Most of the country's not sewered. It's not great at all. No running water, that sort of thing. The vast majority of the population. Now, they only shut down Wuhan for 6 weeks or something, right? 2 months. It never spread to the big cities, Beijing, Shanghai. They contained it real fast. How did they do that? It's pretty cool. Now the lockdown's over. They're all going back to normal and so quickly. You know, we're talking 6 months in Australia. Like, they were, back where these ground zero, like, they're going back to life as normal. Like it's all over for them. They're not playing the game anymore.